Today, we're going to give you some simple travel hacks that make running on the road way easier. I know you love number 6.
Number 6 is my favorite. And you know, as a person who has spent a third of the year on the road, like for the last 5 years, I've spent 130 days traveling each year about. I love training when I'm traveling because I have these systems in place. And so number 6 is my favorite. So stick around for that, but let's get started.
Number 1, hydrate smarter. Use electrolytes on travel day. I would say even a little bit the day before if you have it in you, especially if you're traveling to race. That's a whole nother subject. But flying and long drives, we know dehydrate you more than you think. A lot of times I don't drink as much because I'm like, I don't want to pee unless I'm in the aisle, but I am like I don't want to get trapped and have to pee person. It also really helps prevent headaches, fatigue, and really kind of sluggish runs that can happen that next day. We really want you as well to be hydrated and have electrolytes in your system so that your routine can be intact and that first run doesn't feel horrible, because that could be pretty demotivating when you're like, especially with jet lag. My big thing with this one of using travel day, I'll never forget, we had an athlete that was traveling and she decided she was going to get really smart and used Noon on the plane. So she had like, not even her running, but I think just like a plastic water bottle that had like a spout top. And she popped her Noon in. This is a long time ago when Noon was still kind of new. And she like shot, the entire top shot off, and like it like sprayed everyone around her, the person in front of her. It wasn't sticky, thank God, because it's Noon, right? But she was just funny. She's like, whoa, what happened? It was like a volcano.
Like Mentos and Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah. So just be careful. You know, there are some that fizz and some that don't. If it fizzes, maybe don't use that one on the plane. That one's up before you fly.
Number 2, wear compression socks on the plane.
So, I love compression socks.
I have them and I don't use them as much as I should. This is a good reminder for me, especially with all of my travel. So compression socks improve your circulation, especially during long periods of sitting, which is what you do on a plane. And now, especially, any of our plane rides are not just the duration of the plane. You really have that like hour sitting on the plane beforehand, and 45 minutes after you land before you get to the gate sometimes. So that is a long period of time of not being able to move around. Compression socks can really help that. It makes your recovery easier too, as your heart doesn't have to work as hard to get the blood moving up towards your core. And it reduces swelling and that feeling of having heavy legs. So, in total, just compression socks help you feel fresher when you land and help you get moving. The warning on this is that they can get hot. These things are up to your knees, and depending on the weather, and especially on planes, can be so incredibly hot or cold. They can get really warm, so make sure that you dress in removable upper layers so that you can moderate that temperature.
I have definitely worn way too thick of ones and really, really just gotten super hot. But I think there are so many good options out there.
Yep.
You also don't need, when compression stuff first came out, remember it was like a pair of socks was $75. 1, they've come way down in price. 2, you can march your little butt over to CVS across the street from our house. And I think they're like $11. So like medical grade compression socks. I'm not saying that you should run a marathon in those because you might blister, but for travel, they're great. I would also wear those puppies on the way home. Why not, right? Like it's going to be something that you can use both ways. Number 3, I love this one. It is on my travel pack list, is packing a running water bottle and a way to carry your phone. So depending on what shorts you're bringing or whatever, I know I usually like to bring flowy shorts. Some of my spandex shorts have pockets, but I always have something on me. So it makes it a lot easier for you to, when you're traveling, to get out the door without kind of overthinking logistics, just having that hydration handheld ready to go. And for me, I do like a spy belt. It also really helps, especially if you're running where you don't know that there are water fountains, that you're going to be covered. I know when I'm running with Brian, I will typically run with him when we're traveling, just especially on a new route. And I am the one that's always responsible for bringing water, and then we just share mine, right? So it's nice because even like a little bit goes a long way. And then, of course, with your phone, we want you to have your phone on when you're traveling and you're running, especially outside, just from a safety standpoint. Maybe you need to navigate, right, and use the apps or even tracking your run. Like I love seeing it when my athletes run in completely different places because I'm like, what is this route, right? Yeah. And then I'm like, wait, was it good? Maybe I'll do it if I go there.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4 is lay out your running gear when you arrive.
Just unpack right away.
That's it. That is it. And this has been a game-changing hack for me. When I get there, I keep all my stuff in the suitcase. I never fully unpack, but I have gotten in the habit of pulling out my running gear and putting the shirt, the shorts, and the socks together and just putting it right where I'm going to see it. And that way you remove the friction. And it's when you're tired, you're busy, you're exhausted from the plane ride, you're not really sure if you're going to get that workout in. It's right there looking at you.
Yep.
It's a huge hack. It makes it just exponentially more likely that you're going to get that run done.
So I do the same thing. I will typically travel in my run shoes. And then if I'm going somewhere where I might switch, I have my little slides ready as soon as I land, because I do not want those shoes on longer than I need to. But then as soon as I get in, I'll do the same thing I do at here, prepping for a morning run, where I'll put my shoes like on a little ledge, and then my socks, and then I put all my clothes in reverse order, so that if I get up in the morning, or if Brian's not up and I want to go down to the gym, I can literally just like grab that wad of my gear and sneak into the bathroom and dress and sneak out. And it's so much easier. Pro tip on that one is to make sure your headphones are in that pile. Ooh, if you're going to be rocking one headphone to be safe, or downstairs, like, a boring like treadmill run in a hotel, that's instantly more fun.
Yeah. And this is what we're talking about here, systems, right? So having that system in place where the order of your clothes, all the things there, we want to just take the guesswork out of it.
Number 5, I love this one, planning your routes ahead of time. This is really, really important from a safety issue. I know, like, I have all these conversations with Brian when we travel. Like, he found this awesome. We were just in Hawaii, and I was in a meeting one morning because it was like noon here. And so he went out on a run just on his own, and he found this awesome, like, old lava road that really was in the middle of the country, like in between these mountains. And I was like, this is beautiful. We ran it the next day. And I remember telling him, I'm like, what's crazy about you finding this is, like, you found it and you were all excited to come tell me. If I would have found it, I would have been excited. But the first time I ran it, I would have been like head on a swivel, right? Just because I wouldn't know where I was, what is going on this country road. So we want you, if you can, to plan those routes ahead of time, especially if you're running solo. Using apps like Strava or Google Maps to scout safe, runnable areas. I love the heat maps. I think that for me, that is the most usable. Garmin has them too, actually, now too. Yeah, they just started, I think, within the last year, because I found them kind of by accident. That really helps to know what routes runners typically run, so that you're more likely to have fellow runners with you. It also saves time and decision fatigue once you arrive, and it avoids sketchy and stop heavy routes, right? So that you're not just constantly like stop, go. You can totally ask if you're staying somewhere at the hotel. I've gone as far as, like, with Airbnbs, is there an area that you guys see more cyclists or runners? Really kind of help. A lot of them have maps or info on safe routes for guests, which I think really, really, really helps. You can also, this is taking it one step further, but if you're traveling to an area that has a heavy run club culture, figure out when those meetups are, and then you have the personal guest showing you around the city.
I really look forward to planning my routes on runs.
My favorite way to experience a new area is at a run rate of movement. Like, I've always said that to Brian, like, walking is too slow, biking way too fast, because I'm having to, like, where are my tires? Am I going to crash? Right. But running is just magical. Like, we did so many good runs in Hawaii, and we're talking like 3-5 miles, like nothing long, but we saw cliffs. We went on beach. We went in mountains. We went on country roads. We went to little downtowns. Like, it just gives you, it's just so cool to discover stuff on your own 2 feet. And then you just get to carry those in your pocket forever and ever. Like, I was my favorite part of the day.
And you had great training.
And we had great training. Yeah. And it was honestly really cool.
All right, we're coming up on my favorite one, but first let's recap our first 5 tips here. So number 1, use electrolytes on travel days.
Number 2, wear compression socks on the plane.
Number 3, pack your running water bottle and something to carry your phone.
Number 4 is to set out your running gear as soon as you arrive.
And number 5 is to plan your route ahead of time. So moving into number 6, book your accommodations near good running spots.
So in this case, are you looking at the heat map before you open up hotels.com?
Yes, sometimes. And or I'm looking at like areas that I know. So I'm thinking more about cities that I know that I go to. I'm definitely going to try to book where I know that there's a great path or something that I want to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So in this case, staying next to a park or a trail that you know of, or even like a waterfront, a river runway, or Chicago, the Lakefront Trail, is going to give you instant access to a great route that you already know. And it really cuts out your commute time. So that's a huge barrier, right?
So efficient when you're able to do that. It's so efficient.
If you are traveling for work, say, and you have a conference that starts at 9 a.m., you have limited time in the morning. And actually, a lot of them start way earlier than that. And when you're on the road, you're not going to want to take a train or an Uber to your run. So this is a great hack to get you right on the trail. And it builds running into your environment instead of forcing it. So it gets you off the treadmill and out and exploring.
I love that. Number 7 is to adjust your expectations. We don't look for perfect workouts. I also don't write perfect workouts as a coach. When people are traveling, I mean, this is one of the benefits to working with a coach, right? On your athlete or annual training plan, I am literally flagging when you're traveling and what your availability to train is. If you're really familiar with the area, maybe you could do something harder like a tempo effort, but otherwise we are going for things like moving miles, maybe vert, if we know you're somewhere hilly. But we know, I mean, travel is, like we've said, it's all types of things. It's fun and invigorating, but it also is disrupted sleep and new terrain and different schedule and different routes. We want you really to focus on efforts, not perfect paces or splits. And we want you, in general, to aim for consistency over perfection when you're on the road. When we have other stressors like less sleep, it is an amplifier of training. So we would much rather you do 4 days of 3 miles of easy than try to do 2 perfect 6-mile tempos, right? And possibly bomb yourself out.
Well, going off of that, number 8 is to run at the best time for your schedule, which is maybe not your usual time. So early morning usually works well before meetings or plans, especially when you're traveling. If you're traveling with your family, you're going to want to get that run out of the way so that you can spend the day on your vacation. So maybe you're not an early morning runner. This just is when you can fit it in. Or you can use those runs, as you mentioned, as the way to explore the city, explore the new routes. Do your touring while you're running. Also great if you have a partner or are traveling with people who run.
Yeah. I think too, like just being flexible, right? These allows us to be a little bit more consistent, and that, maybe you want to invite other people with you that you wouldn't normally run with. Maybe it turns into a run walk. We love all those things. Yeah. I consider when we're running on vacation for them to be almost free miles. Next up is to pack a mini recovery kit. Number 9.
This one is awesome. This is so good.
And it's
Can I
easy,
change my favorite?
Oh, now you want number 9?
No, you can have it.
Both. All right. So it doesn't need to be big, right? A lacrosse ball, a resistance band, a small foam roller. Honestly, even a frozen water bottle. Like that's like the ultimate hack is to get like a cheap, Aquafina bottle and freeze it, and it's all of a sudden it's a cooling foam roller. It just really helps you loosen up after flights and long days. Even just doing child's pose and a gentle recovery routine. It just also helps keep small issues from turning into bigger ones, right? I oftentimes build my athletes up to, let's say they have 3 build weeks, they're going to do those before their travel so that they get to enjoy their travel and do minimal work and, more easy miles. But that also means that we need that recovery week to have some recovery modalities in it to assist that fitness to settle in.
One of my hacks on this is to use a towel from the hotel as your yoga mat.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to be on that carpet.
Don't want to be on that carpet,
No.
But you definitely can't always travel with a yoga mat, especially if yoga is not your main jam. So putting out the towel, helped me get my recovery session in without feeling completely disgusted.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
Number 10, we've mentioned this one a number of times, so you got the preview. This is to use running as your way to explore wherever you're at. So, with running, as you said, it's kind of the perfect speed. So walking can be too slow to see as much as you want to see, but cycling or taking a car is way too fast. Running is like the sweet spot because you can stop, you can walk, you can take pictures, you can look around, and you can keep it moving. It also can help build motivation. So like you actually want to go out. I'm thinking about, I went to a big landmark in Paris and I actually caught this incredible rainbow at sunrise.
No way!
It was the most beautiful run. And then I stopped at a vegan bakery on the way back and got some baguettes and pastries. And it was just like the best. But I was so looking forward to that run because I had used my heat map, right? I had planned out the route. And I had like the carrot of I'm going to go see this touristy thing that I want to see, but then I'm not going to get that the bakery afterwards. And it was just, it was like an all-time great run.
I think sometimes too, I forget that not everybody runs. So if you're traveling with people that don't want to run, give them the offer of taking a bike or even a scooter to accompany you. You would be surprised at how many times they're like, yes. And then guess what? You have built-in safety navigation and they can carry your baguettes.
This is brilliant.
I'm like, can you carry my hydration system? Thank you. But it's a really, really fun way. If you happen to be traveling and you have to get really long miles in, this is also a really great hack to have long run support, is to have like a buddy on a bike.
Definitely.
Double bonus, stacking your habits. Shout out James Clear. It's been a minute. We love you, James. Pair your run with something enjoyable, like you had said, like with a coffee stop or a bakery or maybe sightseeing or something that you especially might not have gotten to see otherwise if you hadn't done a run, right? If you have a packed schedule. It really creates a reward. I am a big donkey carrot girl, like show me what I need to chase. And it keeps that consistency more likely to happen because the reward loop is in fact a circle. It also turns I have to run into I get to run here. And I think a lot of times we do anticipate like, to do these workouts when I'm on vacation. No, you get to do these workouts. This is free fitness. Like you're probably already awake at a weird time. Get out there and explore. So travel doesn't have to derail your training. If you keep it simple and reduce friction, you can stay flexible and get it done. And if you can string together a few solid runs while you're traveling, you're already ahead of most runners when you get back home.
If you want help on any of these, we suggest that you start with tip number 1 and check out episode 143, which is everything electrolytes. And in it, we break down all of what you need to know, what electrolytes are, why you need them, and everything else you need to know about them.